Okie dokie, so let's just go over the workout structure today because I don't have a lot of time. Today is going to be another short but intense day, I'm going to go with the Nordic curls and the pistol squat as always, but I'm going to go weighted on those Nordic curls for sure. Now, what I like about weighted Nordic curls is, well, for any skill, right? It's like going to the next progression. So in straddle planche, when you go to the full planche, it feels more difficult. When you go from the tuck planche to the advanced tuck planche, it feels more difficult. Same goes for the front lever. Same goes for the Nordic curl. But for the Nordic curl, what I like more than like putting my arms out straight, because that's difficult to control. I just like putting weight on it. But if you think about it, like a Nordic curl with weight on it is just the next progression compared to a Nordic curl with body weight. Like it's like the bench, if you have 90 kilo on your bench and you put 100, it's gonna be like the next progression. You're just increasing the difficulty in different ways. And when you increase the difficulty and you get used to it, right? And then you go back to a lower weight or a lower progression, it's gonna feel like you're light as a feather. And that's what I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm gonna warm up, put some weight in my backpack, do some Nordic rolls, and basically next time when I attack the normal body weight Nordic rolls, I'm gonna feel super light. And by feeling super light, I'm gonna be able to do the Nordic rolls snappier, more efficiently, and it's gonna allow me to have greater volume. And that's something that you can apply to any skill. Like I said, the planche, the front lever, the Nordic roll, the pistol squat, whatever you want, by going heavy and then backing off, it's gonna feel super light. So that's what I'm aiming for today. And yeah, that's it. Let's go. All right. This was the last warm-up set with 4 kilos. And now I'm gonna move on to 8 kilos. Now my previous best is 6 kilos, so even one rep will be a PR. But of course I'm gonna aim for more. I hope to get 2 sets of 2 reps, which would be a good stimulus, especially with that weight. 8 kilos doesn't seem like a lot, but it's kind of like, this Nordic roll is a lever exercise, the lever starts from my feet at the stairs. And just like the front lever or the planche, if you put weight at the end of the lever, it's gonna feel super heavy. So for me, this backpack, it's not entirely at the end, of course, but it's, above my hips. So it's kind of like I would say it's the same comparison of doing a front lever or doing a front lever with 2 or 3 kilos or something on your feet. So quite a big difference. But anyway, if I can do this, especially 2 sets, 2 reps, my Nordic curl is just gonna feel super light when next time I train with just body weight. So let's see if we can get it. Oh fuck, cramping. Okay. I don't think a second rep is gonna be feasible, but I can do one more rep in another set after some rest. So let's do that. Anyway, a PR, nice. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Let's do, I'm gonna do one back off set with 4 kilos. And then we can do a finisher as well. With like finger assisted stuff. But this was very satisfying. Not 2 reps like I had hoped. But very fun nonetheless. This was max effort. Alright, I guess I'm spent. Okay, so the amount of reps performed on the Nordic curl was maybe not, as much as I would normally do, but do not get it mistaken for the amount of tiredness that is on my legs right now, because that was essentially 2 sets of 1 rep max, and oh boy, did I feel it. When you do a 1 rep max in the gym, a bench or a deadlift, you're gonna feel that shit, even though it's only 1 rep, right? If it's a real grinder and it's your actual max, you're gonna feel that for days, and I'm gonna feel this for a couple days as well, because holy shit, I had to grind my teeth a little bit to get that one up. But yeah, nonetheless, now I'm gonna move on to pistol squats because I have to hurry up. I have to get to work as well. But yeah, today I'm gonna aim for 40 kilos. And at the moment, as it stands, my PR with 40 kilos is 4 reps, just 4 normal reps. Now today I'm gonna do paused reps. But, last time I got 36 kilos for 8. So now I want to see if I can get these 40 kilos for 5 reps paused, which, as, as the numbers suggest, would not only just be a paused squat PR, but also just a PR in general with 40 kilos, a good real sign that we're getting stronger and closer to 75 kilos in the end, because that's the ultimate goal, it might take a while, but that's where I ultimately want to head towards. So yeah, I'm gonna warm up here. Just one quick set with, I don't know how many kilos, I think 30. Yeah, makes sense, 30 kilos. Let's see how it goes. All right. It's gonna be heavy. Fuck. Holy shit. That was not the best form. But that was 5 reps. We're getting stronger, boys. Slowly but surely. Now, to repeat it on the other side. Let's move on to some accessories. Okay, so that's it for the main sets. When it comes to quadriceps, only 1 set, and I'm not gonna do this forever, because, when you want to get strong, you need to get adapted to the movement pattern as well, and when you only do 1 set, well, you only have 1 chance to adapt to the movement pattern, right, to get used to it. Well, if you do multiple sets, you basically have more volume, right? It's like if you're playing the piano, playing the piano for 5 minutes very hard get you results, or will playing the piano for hours on end, at a manageable pace, give you the most results? It's kind of the same with strength, right? Because it's a skill and you need time to practice it. But when it comes to muscle growth, the one set approach is a very good approach as well. So for me, what I like to do is to kind of switch it up. One time I will do a bit more volume at a lower weight to get adapted, and then I will peak into a peak, basically. How else should I put it? I peak into like this more low volume, high intensity stuff to basically up the weight and get new PRs. And by using both, I feel like I'm getting the best of both worlds. So that's very nice. But anyway, now it's time to do some accessories. For me, mobility. So what I will do today is some pistol squats. I lowered the elevation under my heel so that I require more mobility. And this is the ideal mobility training, because I get to practice mobility in the actual movement I'm trying to get strong and mobile at. So for me, pistol squats are perfect. And actually, I used to do 3 sets of 5. I think I might up it to 3 sets of 10 because last training, I quite like the higher volume. So, I'm not going to do 5 sets, but 3 sets of 10 pistol squats at body weight. It's not going to hurt me. It's not very heavy for me. So it's just going to be a good mobility training. It's like doing 30-second stretches instead of 15-second stretches. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now. And after that, there might be something else still, but we'll see. First, let's complete this. Okay, this is gonna look fucking stupid, but I'm gonna try to do a pistol squat on the floor, assisting myself, and basically try not to fall over backwards. Maybe try to hold the position at the bottom. But this is how you can learn a pistol squat when you don't have it unlocked yet, right? You take something in front of you, right, as support, and then you basically you do the pistol squat. And it's fucking annoying because you're gonna try, or your body is gonna wanna fall backwards. But you do this basically until you have the flexibility. And then you can like try and hold yourself without assistance. But for me, I think it's mainly hip and ankle mobility on the left side. Because on the right side, I'm just about there, but on the left, it's just a fucking disaster. So I'm gonna do this off camera, just play around with it a little bit. And that's gonna be it for today's training. Okay, so mobility has been done. That's fucking annoying, you just keep falling backwards even though, I have the power to pistol squat 54 kilos, yet I'm falling backwards on my fucking bodyweight pistol squat, which is pretty annoying, I think you can imagine. But like I said, if you want to unlock the pistol squat, right, I think when you have 20 lunges, you pretty much have the strength to start training this. So you do like box squats for the pistol squats, like this, you go sit down on a chair and you stand up like that. And basically the assisted reps where you hold something in front of you, those are gonna get you the pistol squat, But it's not only a strength exercise, it's a mobility exercise as well. So if you can from the beginning, don't neglect mobility like I did, because it's gonna come back to bite you in the end. But that's it for today's training. Very good, couple PRs, nothing to complain about. And next time, basically, when it comes to Nordics, I'm gonna do volume, but I'm looking forward to it a lot because the 8 kilos for now, it felt difficult, right? But when I take the weight off and next time I try it with body weight, it's gonna hopefully feel like I'm flying, It has always been the case that, it feels like that, but hopefully the recovery goes well and we can see the results on Monday is the next leg day. And then for the pistol squats, I'm gonna just do the same style as today, Today I did 5 reps on those pistol squats. I'm gonna see if I can recover properly from that and then hopefully aim for like 8 reps on the pistol squats next time And after that, I think I'll be pretty close to my limit, my peak, so to speak. So then I'll back off the weight, do some more volume. I'm talking like 50 reps of pistol squat on each leg per training, and basically build up from there. But yeah, nonetheless, very fun training. Like I mentioned this a few times already, but in training you have the three variables. You have your intensity, your volume, and your frequency. And you can basically play around with those three factors. If one goes up, the others come down. You have like, if you have 100 points in total, then you have like 50 points to invest in each one of them, or maybe even 75, I don't know. But like, if you invest all of your points in intensity, well, then you don't have as many points left over to invest in the other stuff. So that's frequency, that's volume. In my case, the frequency is quite okay still. I'm doing it every 3 days. I'm doing basically a leg workout. So that's like kind of mid. And then the intensity now is very high, but the volume is very low. So that's kind of how I balance it out. That's how I manage to recover. So yeah, hopefully that's something you can apply to your training as well. But yeah, basically, if you want to go intense, the volume comes down. If you want to go high volume, the intensity or the frequency comes down. That's basically the point, right? And yeah, that's it for today's training. I'm gonna wash myself off, have some breakfast, and then head to work. So I'll see you tomorrow for a push day.